Okay, so here's a story for you. When I was younger, I was much shyer and far less opinionated than I am now. You might find that hard to believe, but it's true. But I don't think I was born like that. I don't think every child is born shy and lacking in confidence and opinions. I think that people have different personalities for sure, but I used to have a different view of the world to other people, and I used to see things and question it, like anything about eating meat and how things worked and how we go to work and things like that. And I was always told, don't be silly, or it's something we're told, isn't it? Don't be silly, don't worry about that. Oh, you're just a kid. You're just a kid is a massive gripe of mine. It's like you need to earn some sort of qualification to have an understanding or to see what's happening in the world. Like our innate intuition isn't good enough. And it's pretty much inescapable. It's in our society, it's in our teachings, it's all around us, it's even in TV programs we watch, where we're taught to toe the line of the way it is. And we're told all these things. We're told we need to acquire knowledge, we need more experience to understand these things. And I think that for me kind of pushed me more inwards, and I started to doubt what I was believing and what I used to say. It's not just the government and media who do this. Other people will do it. Other people, friends, family will often try and belittle what you're saying because you're not an authority on the subject. Because they've had it happen to them as well. So they think you need some almighty knowledgeable source who can tell you the way it really is. But of course, you don't need knowledge to be able to see that something is morally wrong or unfair. I mean, kids will be the first to point out to you when something is unfair or when something seems wrong, because they haven't got all this conditioned knowledge about things, the way they should work, and that's the way they are. And you kind of start keeping your opinions to yourself and you follow the track and you just start doing what other people do. And the media does this all the time, but government tells us to do this. We're told to do this, do that. The government tells us all these things that we should be doing, how to live our lives. Everywhere. What to think, when to think it, how to think it, just don't question it. And as long as we're kept in this sea of fear and doubt, we're pretty harmless because we're incapacitated by it. And certain people can carry on making the money, exploiting the animals, exploiting people and anything else that gets in their path. And of course our conditioning and doubt teaches us that that's okay. So much so that we even take part in it. Great. So we never really get out of this trap of being told how to think like we were when we were younger. It still happens, we just need to wake up and realise it. And for some people that takes a big event to happen, a life-changing event, for people to let go and go back to their roots and think things from the ground up. And that's when we start to talk about people being spiritual, because they've reconnected with themselves and started to get rid of all this crap which has been conditioned on them. I started to break out of this through my 20s, and I started to think, well, maybe I was right about things, and started to kind of open my mind again rather than having it closed down, and started to realise that some of the things I thought and, the way I thought before was probably the right way, and the way things are done is wrong. Just because something is done a particular way and has been done a particular way doesn't make it right. Our system is entrenched from a system of hierarchy where the poor people were kept at the poor and the rich at the top, and exploitation was rife, not just animals but humans as well. And that's what our system is still based on, and it's taking long to evolve to a better system. So I became vegetarian in my 20s, and it wasn't until like my 30s that I started to think, oh yeah, fucking hell, I'm right about these things, and it's okay to have an opinion about these things and to believe in yourself and not doubt yourself. So you can see when you say things to people, you give them your opinions on meat eating or anything else, how the government works, people seem to take offence. They seem to be like, oh, don't push your opinions on me, I don't want to hear it, I get angry. And you can see that what you're asking them, or what we're saying to them when we say these things, is to undo all this doubt that they may have had in their past life. I think that's the reason some people get truly angry and uncomfortable about vegans, people who do anything that is different. And that's why people throw about words like weirdo or outcast, because they've accepted this conditioning. Why shouldn't you? You free-thinking twat with your own thoughts and stuff. What's wrong with you? So I think it's good to remind ourselves to look around occasionally and see what is wrong with the world and try and pick out these things which we've had encoded into our mind, which have been conditioned into ourselves, and just try and let them go and see things from our true perspective. And when you're talking to people, when we're talking to other people about not eating meat or anything else for that matter, bear that in mind when they get angry. They're not getting angry at you, they're getting angry because of the way you're making them feel about themselves, which may show that they agree with you, but it's on a level which they can't quite get to yet. And, you know, it took me a while to wake up from all this conditioning. It's going to take anyone a while. So, you know, it'd be nice to have immediate change now, to have everyone stop eating meat overnight, but you can't force people to do what you want them to do. It works both ways. But sharing your views, sharing your beliefs, and allowing people to see the reality goes a hell of a long way to making people see the truth.